There is no doubt in my mind that this world revolves because of her.
What does a woman do when her husband goes on national television and casually admits there were 100 girls in his life?
Jon Bon Jovi still keeping it real after making headlines for saying he was not a saint in his marriage to his high school sweetheart, Dorothea Hurley.
Most people would expect outrage, tears, or a public breaking point. But Jon Bon Jovi's wife, Dorothea Hurley, did something no one expected. Before she became known as the woman beside a rock legend, she had her own path. She was a nationally recognized karate athlete with the discipline and potential to build a serious career of her own. Instead, while Jon chased global fame, she stepped away from that future to raise 4 children and hold family life together behind the scenes. And once you see what she may have given up and how she responded after Jon's shocking confession, this story hits very differently. Time after time, she chose his future over hers. Then came that interview. Sitting across from Michael Strawn, Jon smiled for the cameras and made comments that instantly had people talking about their entire marriage.
You know, I'm not saying that there weren't 100 girls in my life. I'm Jon Bon Jovi.
A moment like that could have pushed many people to make a public move. But Dorothea did not file for divorce. She did not rush to tell her side in some big interview. Instead, she handled it in a way nobody saw coming. Now go back to Sayreville, New Jersey, in 1980. Dorothea Hurley was never the type standing around hoping to catch a famous musician's attention. That version of the story does not fit her at all. She was focused, disciplined, and serious about karate. Since her teen years, she had been training hard, winning junior competitions, and building real momentum toward something meaningful. By 1999, she would be ranked as the 4th best green belt in the United States. That is not some casual hobby. By 2002, she would earn a 4th degree black belt. Dorothea had her own lane, her own goals, and a future she was actively shaping. Then love changed the direction of everything when she fell for a teenager with rock star dreams bigger than life itself. Jon Bon Jovi has repeated the story for years. He says he sat behind her in history class and was instantly hooked. According to him, she was smart, beautiful, and completely unimpressed by him. That only made her stand out more. In interviews, he has said he looked at her and thought, "That is the one." And he believed it. She was the one. What nobody could have predicted was how much sacrifice that role might eventually demand. They started dating in high school while most couples were doing ordinary teenage things. Prom nights, weekend hangouts, simple memories. But Jon and Dorothea were already living a different story. Instead of a typical teenage date, they went to a concert where his band opened for Southside Johnny in front of thousands. That choice became a pattern. Again and again, the relationship moved around his dream, his momentum, his career path. Then came 1985, a breakup. Brief, but still painful. Jon started dating actress Diane Lane, and for 5 months, Dorothea watched her longtime love move on with a Hollywood star. That could have easily been the end of the story, but it was not. When that relationship ended, Jon came back, and Dorothea made the decision to take him back. Then came 1989. Bon Jovi was no longer just another rock band trying to break through. They were one of the biggest acts on the planet. The New Jersey Syndicate Tour was packing stadiums across the world night after night. Fame was everywhere. Attention was everywhere. Jon had endless opportunities around him, from glamorous industry circles to screaming fans filling arenas. And right in the middle of all that chaos, he and Dorothea did something unexpected. They flew to Las Vegas. No giant celebrity event, no flashy press rollout, no exclusive magazine cover. They walked into the Graceland Wedding Chapel and got married in a quiet ceremony. For anyone watching from the outside, it looked like the perfect love story. High school sweethearts making it through the madness. A rock star choosing commitment in the middle of peak fame. But real life does not freeze at the wedding altar. For couples dealing with fame, marriage can become the start of a completely different challenge. And the years that followed would bring pressures Dorothea likely never expected. Then came family life. Stephanie Rose Bon Jovi arrived in 1993. Jesse James Lewis followed in 1995. Jacob Hurley in 2002. Romeo John in 2004. 4 children in just over a decade. While their family was growing, Jon's career kept moving at full speed, with tours, appearances, and non-stop demands pulling him in every direction. Jon has openly acknowledged that career commitments meant missing important family moments, birthdays, school performances, everyday milestones that shape childhood memories. Fame may bring applause, but it also creates distance when someone is constantly on the move. And when one parent is absent often, someone else carries the routine. Someone has to manage the schedules, the school pickups, the homework questions, the packed lunches, and the emotional support. Someone has to be the steady face at the dinner table. For this family, that person was Dorothea. She made a major life decision. She had serious athletic credentials and could have kept pushing her own competitive path in karate. She could have focused fully on building a larger public career of her own. She had the discipline, the experience, and the drive. Instead, she chose a different direction. She became a karate instructor in New Jersey, creating stability for her children while staying rooted at home. While her husband's image appeared across magazines, posters, and television screens around the world, she handled the day-to-day realities of raising a family. While the spotlight followed him, she built the structure behind the scenes. While the crowds cheered for him in packed arenas, she was managing the responsibilities that never make headlines. And that raises the question many people would ask. While she was putting her own ambitions on hold and holding everything together at home, what exactly was Jon doing? Getting away with murder. Those were Jon Bon Jovi's words, not anyone else's. And that is exactly what made this moment explode into headlines. Because this was not gossip from an unnamed source or tabloid speculation. This came directly from him, on camera, during a major television interview. In April 2024, Jon sat down with Michael Strawn for ABC's Halfway There while promoting the Hulu documentary, Thank You, Good Night, The Bon Jovi Story. It was a standard promotional appearance, the kind celebrities do all the time. But then the conversation took a turn that had people stunned. Jon decided to speak openly about his past. He said, "I got away with murder. I will say it again on camera. I am a rock and roll star. I am not a saint. I am not saying there were not 100 girls in my life. I am Jon Bon Jovi. It was pretty good." That quote hit hard, not because of rumor, but because of how directly it was said. The scale of the admission is what got attention, not a vague reference to mistakes, not a quiet acknowledgement of difficult years. A statement that immediately had people re-examining the public image of a decades-long marriage. Now think about what that moment may have looked like from the other side. Dorothea, the woman who spent years holding family life together while fame pulled her husband across the world. The same woman who handled the home routines, the parenting responsibilities, and the everyday realities while cameras followed him instead. Jon also tried to add context in that same interview. He said he never wanted to put his marriage at risk. He described the idea of getting lost in ego as foolish and framed parts of that lifestyle as excess he did not actually need. But once words are spoken publicly, they spark reactions that cannot be controlled. Because people do not just hear the explanation, they hear the headline, they hear the quote. And for many, that kind of statement raises difficult questions about trust, loyalty, and what long-term relationships survive behind closed doors. What makes this story stand out is that Dorothea did not jump into the spotlight afterward. No immediate public statement, no televised response, no interview tour explaining her side. The cameras stayed off her, and the public was left to speculate about what she may have felt in that moment. Anyone who has experienced public embarrassment, disappointment, or emotional shock can understand why people reacted so strongly. The sudden rush of disbelief. The delayed moment where your mind tries to process what you just heard. That intense emotional whiplash people describe when a deeply personal issue becomes public conversation overnight. And then come the private thoughts, the long nights, the memories replaying. The sacrifices measured differently after a moment like that. When someone has spent decades investing in a shared life, a public confession can land in a way outsiders may never fully understand. Imagine lying awake at night in a house most people would only ever see in magazines, staring at the ceiling while your mind keeps replaying the same public comments again and again. Once numbers like that enter the conversation, people start doing mental math whether they want to or not, per tour, per year, across decades of marriage. That kind of public statement can trigger endless speculation, and the thoughts do not shut off easily. Then morning comes anyway. Breakfast still needs to be made. Schedules still move forward. Family responsibilities do not pause because headlines are trending. Picture having to move through ordinary routines while entertainment shows keep replaying clips and commentary from a nationally discussed interview. School pickups. Quick conversations with other parents. Everyday interactions where you suddenly wonder who saw what, who has opinions, and who is quietly talking about your private life as if it is public entertainment. That kind of pressure can feel isolating, no matter how privileged someone's life may appear from the outside. And that is the strange part about public perception. People often assume wealth, fame, and status cancel out emotional pain, as if a large home or financial comfort somehow makes personal hurt less real. That assumption can make someone feel even more alone, especially when the public expects them to keep smiling through every appearance. For 35 years, Dorothea stood beside one of the most recognizable names in music. Red carpets, public events, charity appearances, family milestones. Through all of it, she maintained a composed public image while carrying responsibilities that rarely made headlines. And after that interview, many people began looking at that history through a completely different lens. Then came a moment that instantly fueled more speculation. About a week after the interview aired, there was a documentary screening in New York City. Jon walked the red carpet alone. Dorothea was not there, and media outlets immediately started asking questions. Was she upset? Had there been tension behind the scenes? Was this a sign of a bigger shift? A spokesperson later told Page 6 that Dorothea had tested positive for COVID and could not attend. That was the public explanation. And yes, that could absolutely be the full story. But people noticed something else. Just a week earlier, she had appeared beside him at the UK screening, smiling for cameras as she had done so many times over the years. Then came the highly discussed interview, and suddenly she was absent from the New York event. Naturally, that timing sparked conversation. Public absences often become symbols whether they mean anything or not. Sometimes they reflect logistics, health, scheduling, or something completely ordinary. Other times, the public reads much more into them. That is the reality of celebrity life. But what made this situation stand out was what happened next. Because many expected public fallout, dramatic statements, or some visible fracture in the relationship. Instead, Dorothea handled things in a way that caught a lot of people off guard. And that is where her story starts to look very different from the version many expected. She did not walk away. She did not launch a public media battle. She did not sit down for an emotional tell-all interview or turn private pain into a headline campaign. Instead, she focused her energy somewhere else entirely. She built something with real impact. In 2011, Dorothea and Jon launched JBJ Soul Kitchen in New Jersey, a community restaurant with no fixed prices. Guests who can pay contribute, and those who cannot can volunteer instead. The goal was simple: provide meals with dignity, without shame or rejection. While Jon's name drew attention, Dorothea played a major role behind the scenes, helping shape how the project actually ran. Over the years, the program expanded across New Jersey and served many people facing food insecurity. That contrast stands out. While Jon filled concert arenas, Dorothea helped build something focused on direct community support. It showed a very different side of their shared story. When asked about the secret to their long marriage, Jon said, "Every day is a challenge and change, but if you are growing together, hopefully things will work out." Not exactly a fairy tale answer, but a realistic one. He has also praised Dorothea as someone who supports him while also keeping him grounded when needed. Dorothea was not just the spouse of a celebrity. She raised 4 children, maintained a private life under public attention, and helped create a charity with real impact. In 2016, Jon admitted, "Without her, I am not sure how I would have coped." That says plenty about her role in his life. As Jon once described it, "A lot of these things added up and a snowflake became an avalanche. Without her, I am not sure how I would have coped." That is a striking admission. This is a man whose career reached extraordinary heights. Massive record sales, global recognition, sold-out arenas, and decades as one of rock's most familiar faces. And even with all of that success, he publicly acknowledged how important Dorothea was in helping him stay grounded. So what did that partnership appear to require from her over the years? A lot of personal trade-offs. Her competitive karate path, which once showed serious promise. Years that could have gone toward building an even bigger independent public identity. Time spent supporting family routines while his career operated on an international scale. That meant handling birthdays when tour schedules kept him away, managing school responsibilities, family logistics, and the ordinary moments that still matter deeply, even when a life looks glamorous from the outside. It also meant navigating public scrutiny that comes with being connected to a major celebrity, where private relationship challenges can suddenly become public conversation. For many people, that kind of role can reshape personal identity. Over time, someone's own accomplishments risk getting overshadowed by the fame of the person beside them. Dorothea had achievements of her own, serious martial arts credentials, leadership in community-focused charitable work, years of practical family management that rarely earn headlines but absolutely matter. Yet public recognition often simplifies people into one label. For many, she became known primarily as Jon Bon Jovi's wife, rather than as an athlete, organizer, or independent force in her own right. That contrast is one reason this story resonates with so many people. Jon Bon Jovi became a global superstar, and Dorothea remained a key part of the foundation behind that success. Some see that as devotion, others as sacrifice, or a mix of both. But one final part of the story shifts how people see it all. In the Thank You, Good Night documentary, Dorothea appears only briefly, yet the moment stands out. She recalls meeting Jon in high school, remembering his blue eyes, his charm, and the ambition she noticed long before fame arrived. What is most noticeable is what she leaves unsaid. She does not revisit controversies or personal struggles. Instead, she focuses on the beginning of their story, a choice that has fueled conversations about loyalty, resilience, and the realities of long relationships in the public eye. For decades, Dorothea remained largely outside the spotlight while standing beside one of music's most recognizable names. Over those years, she helped raise 4 children, supported family life through extraordinary circumstances, and played a major role in charitable work that helped real communities. That is a legacy people should not overlook. And maybe that is why this story keeps people talking. Not because celebrity relationships always follow neat storybook endings, but because real partnerships are often far more layered than what the public sees. Sacrifice, compromise, endurance, growth. Private decisions that outsiders will never fully understand. One thing is clear. Jon's public comments reignited attention around a marriage that many assumed they already understood. But sometimes the loudest statement is not the one made in an interview. Sometimes it is the silence of the person who chooses not to respond publicly at all. Now, I want to hear from you. After everything in this story, what do you think defines Dorothea Hurley most? Loyalty, strength, sacrifice, independence, or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more stories like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next one. See you in the next video.